So yeah, what when you were a kid, like what was your favorite pay-per-view or what's your favorite pay-per-view now?
Hmm. I don't really know.
Is
I'll admit I don't really have one now.
okay.
It's always WrestleMania.
Oh,
That's the
nice.
go-to.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean it's always the best matches of the year. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
go-to.
I like every year, doesn't matter. I like going back if it's October and I go back and I rewatch all the Fall Brawls and Halloween
Yeah.
Havocs, right?
Yes.
Thanksgiving, I'm watching Summer Slams. I'm watching all of them.
Mm,
Gets around December, I start getting the Starcades. Even though it started out as a Thanksgiving night thing, I still that's my Starcade. But growing up, I can honestly say my favorite pay per view that I just I was ready for, and I know this sounds crazy, and just because of some of the things that I can tie into it, it's SummerSlam
okay.
because I just as a kid, there's key moments. Uh,
Sure. Yeah.
I
There were a lot
remember,
of great
yeah,
SummerSlams when we were growing up.
I remember the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks,
Yeah.
right? 89, I remember the steel cage match with Hogan, Brutus, Zeus, and Macho. That was a big one right there.
Hmm.
1990, Tugboat. That was your first SummerSlam without Hogan being the champion. Because Warrior had taken it at WrestleMania that year.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot
that's
of
right.
things
Yeah, with
that go
Warrior
down
and
at
Bray Wyatt.
SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Um, just funny matches. Seeing the first time the Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Oh god.
I mean, it wasn't the best,
How
but it
did
just
how did that close the night and not Brett versus Owen in a cage match? Like that I'll never get that.
that's yep, yep, yep.
But hey, Undertaker versus Undertaker was a whole other level.
Right,
But yeah,
right. And then you
sorry.
got
Go ahead.
no, no, absolutely, because you had that, and then you had the 92 over in Wembley.
Yeah.
You had the Hitman versus Bulldog.
And speaking of funny matches, the casket match between Kamala and Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Kamala was
Yes.
just like was not having none of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's funny
Man.
thing. Yes, casket matches are the very live matches. God, there's so many backstories on those things. But yes, SummerSlam was my favorite pay per view growing up. It's just something I was like, all right, this is this. I guess summertime. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I dug
That's
that.
cool, man.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
favorite now is always
Hey,
WrestleMania. I love WrestleMania weekend and getting ready and getting pumped up. And even if I'm not necessarily into the show or the matches, just the feel. It's
yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, man. You can't beat it, dude.
You know.
Yeah, man. Like my favorite pay per view was always the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
always the Royal Rumble, and it still is because it's just a fun match. Like there's so much stuff, and like what you were saying too was like there's a lot of things I can pinpoint in 89. Warrior and Hogan come face to face for the first time. And it sets up and the ultimate challenge at
Ultimate Challenge,
WrestleMania
that's right.
6. And God, there's so many other ones like Ric Flair in '92.
Yep, going the
coming in.
whole,
Yeah.
going the distance, baby.
Dude, I
I mean,
loved
that was an incredible
and
performance
Bobby
in itself.
Heenan's commentary on it.
Yes, yes.
Like, it's a skirt. It's
Yeah.
not a kilt.
It's not with a tear in my eye.
Oh, man.
Loved it. Yeah, yeah.
So good.
Yep.
There's so many great moments from the Rumbles.
I remember, and it's so funny. The Rumble, it didn't start out. People they don't realize the Rumble. It didn't start out as a big thing because the first
the
winner,
first one was on USA.
right, and the first winner was Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw.
That's
Yeah.
right, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And the first time it was on pay per view was '89, and that was Big John Studd. So it took a minute to kind of get its footing, but yeah, it has garnered, and because that's the official beginning of WrestleMania season.
You're right.
I mean,
Yeah, and then like since then, man, I think the first time, the first time that the winner of WrestleMania went, or the winner of the Rumble went to WrestleMania. The main event was in '93 when Yokozuna won.
Yep.
And then it sets up that what we were talking about earlier.
I think one of the cooler Royal Rumbles, and I know a lot of people kind of look down on it, is the year that they were in San Antonio.
Okay.
And they were there, and they had a lot of the lucha libre stars, a lot of the Mexican luchadors.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, working that into the aesthetic and the demographic.
Sure. I think like Mil Mascaras was in the Rumble.
Absolutely.
There was a bunch of those people, man. I want to say it was the main event that night. I think was Sid versus Shawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, and that's when
97.
97. That's right. That's right.
Oh man, I was so pissed off at the end of that one. God. Because Hitman won, damn it.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
He fucking won.
And I give him props though, because there's like, what is it? That one and another one.
It's great though. It's good stuff.
It was Batista and John Cena.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's the one where Vince blew out his quads because he was so pissed.
Only Vince McMahon.
You know, but I got to give it to him, man. That's some timing, dude.
Yeah.
And that first one was all Hitman. I mean,
Mhm.
that's everybody tell you that was Brett making
Yeah.
sure that everything that
In fact, yeah, I got to talk to Lex one time for like about 15 minutes on the
Really?
phone, and like that was the first thing I asked him. I was like, "What happened in Royal Rumble 1994?"
right.
And he was like, "Man, Brett just told me to trust him, and like he grabs me by the waist and we go over."
Yep.
And he's like, "Just trust me, I'll get us there."
Yep.
And sure enough, he's like, "Man, you show those camera angles just like I did. Can't tell."
Yep. I was watching one today. It was War Games.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, you talk about some great
yeah.
matches there.
This was the one where the infamous one, I think it was 91, 92, but it's the one where the thing was the ceiling was so low that Sid Vicious goes to power bomb.
Yeah,
The foot, the feet get caught and he just, you know,
brutal, dude.
horrible. And then he does it again, and then I'm like, "Why
you didn't learn the first
right?
time?
This ain't gonna work, man. What are you doing?" And I can just you can almost see a little bit of that look in Brian Pillman's eyes, like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, like,
it didn't work.
you big dumb idiot.
But they showed how Barry Windham had done a blade job during that match. The art of pro wrestling is shown in this segment, and this literally, you see he's cupping somebody's, it's close fist, so he's cupping it, and he sees he's a little bit pulled back because he can't use the hand, but all of a sudden he gets thrown into the cage, he takes a bump, he rolls over once, rolls over twice, and within that roll over twice, he takes that blade and just snips, right? Does his thing, zips it. By the time Brian Pillman picks it back up, timing is everything, throws him back into the cage, doom, 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 doom. When he pulls that head off, he's just covered in blood. That is an art form.
It really is.
To where
It really
you're
is.
not, I wouldn't
It's incredible.
Right. We wouldn't
really
have known
is.
about it had they not had slowed it down and going, this is where it happens, because it happens so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things I love about wrestling.
And yeah, like some of those crazy. Oh yeah.
And just where'd that happen?
the
That's the
secret.
magic, man.
Yeah.